Hello, and welcome to a special segment here on the Sound Effect, where we have in the building with us today the 1981 National Championship winning Clemson Tigers, the 1986 Super Bowl winning New York Giants, Andy Hedden in the building with us today. Thank you for being here, Andy.
All right, man. Appreciate it. You inviting me here.
We just want to dive into a little bit about your life before football and then your football career, of course.
Sure.
Growing up in Liberty, North Carolina, what was that like? Did you have a lot of siblings?
Yeah, I got 3 brothers and 3 sisters, a whole bunch of family and friends, man. We live in a small town, which was like Liberty, but everybody grew up together, family. Man, the kids just running around. Everybody had 9, 10 kids, but it seemed like, man, we was the Waltons ourselves, man, growing up, man.
Okay.
Outhouses, no running water, but the little things we did have with each other, and the love that we came from our parents, man, that was very special.
The time spent together
really
helped to mold your life going forward.
Oh, definitely.
Now, one thing I want to ask you, at that young growing up in North Carolina and Liberty, did you always know that football was the avenue you wanted to take? I'm sure you played a bunch of sports.
Right.
Was it ever basketball that you thought maybe you'd be in the NBA, or was it football that always took charge?
Well, to be honest, man, man, we stood out throwing rocks at each other, man. So we had no idea what we want to do, man. We just chasing each other around. And then our TV station we only had 3 stations, and then we had to get go outside and turn the cable and just to watch the games. And obviously, me growing up, all we watched was the Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. And to be honest, I was a Dallas fan when I was in the age of 7, 8, 9. And then, I want to be a Roger Staubach type of guy. So playing basketball, Dr. J or somebody like that, or baseball, to us, it was a natural thing to do to just go outside and play. What the kids today don't do, but for us, it was just a natural thing for us to do anything. So as time went by, then we started thinking of playing some form of college or professional sport.
Okay. All right. I just want to say on that topic, I think I may be part of the last generation that the parents forced us out the house. We couldn't sit in the house on no cell phones.
Man, to us, it was no force. We just went outside.
You just had to get out there.
It was force coming in.
Okay.
But going out, man, as soon as that sun was up, man,
he was out there.
We was outdoors. And I want to get a shout out to my cousin Joe and his wife V for letting me be up here with them every year for their benefit, because growing up, man, we always connect with someone. And Joe just happened to be the one that I was connected with.
Okay. All right, and I just want to say thank you to V as well, because thanks to her, we had some delicious fish at the Fish Fry this past weekend, and all the food and the social environment was fun, very fun. So thank you for having us out there. And I actually met Andy for the first time at this event, so it was a blessing to be there. If we can kind of jump ahead a little bit now to the Clemson days.
Okay, them Tigers, man?
Yeah, the Clemson Tigers.
Oh, man, growing up, man, in the state of North Carolina, there was a few teams: Duke University, North Carolina State, Chapel Hill, Tar Heels. But I was a David Thompson fan also, so I was always, my mind, I was going to North Carolina State. But what had happened, they invited me once they was playing Clemson. At that time, Clemson was ranked number 3 in the nation, and man, I went there, I was expecting it to be all red, Wolfpack, but it was the opposite. It was orange. It just caught my attention. And plus I had my coach, Sal Giro, was my last high school coach that I had before I went to, being recruited by all these other schools, Notre Dame, Arizona, or whoever. But Clemson was his school to his kids. And at that time, he had Jeff and Joe Bostic, which they were one played for the Redskins, one for Arizona Cardinals, and he just said, man, well, let's just check Clemson out. So I went down there, and man, before you know it, man, my blood was running orange. So a few days later, national signing was, and I became a Tiger.
Okay. I want to focus in on the 1981 season. I was looking at some of the statistics, and going into that season, they didn't even have you guys ranked in the top 10 or top 15,
top 100 or whatever.
Right.
Man, we came out of nowhere. I was recruited as a quarterback, and when I got there, obviously I wasn't playing that well, to be honest with you, as a quarterback. But I didn't want to sit on the sideline, so I just volunteered for everything, So I played cornerback, safety, I ran back, kicks, and then my junior year, we had a coach named Coach Harper. He told me, man, he said, look, man, I want you to play defense, I want you to play linebacker, and the rest is history, man.
Yes, sir. So during that season, being that you guys obviously believe or where your team is at.
Right.
Was there a certain point in the season when you thought that there would be something special, being that you didn't start out with the ranking, but then you went undefeated, untied at the end of that season? So was there a certain point where you guys kind of all came together and locked it in, or was it straight from the jump,
Man, to be honest, man, win and take care of everything.
Okay.
So once you start winning one game, before you know it, you got 5 games under your belt, man, that confidence start building up. So we put our egos aside and we play together as a team, and because we play better like that. Yeah. And then Coach Ford, you always got to have a great coach. So Denny Ford was that coach, plus his assistant coaches. And then on defense, our leader was Jeff Davis. He played for the Tampa Buccaneers, I believe, for eight or 7 years or whatever. But he was our leader, so we was on his shoulders, and after that, man, it just took off, man.
Okay. And after winning that championship that year in 1981, do you call anything changing dramatically for you, other than being the national championships, being the national champions?
To be honest, man, at that time, man, it never crossed my mind of being a professional athlete at that time. But when you see the other guys getting drafted, those days at that time, it makes you think about little things. So my freshman, sophomore, and especially my junior year, I wasn't thinking like that. But when you see the pro scouts coming around, you know who's who, and then every kid dreamed to play some form of it, professional sport, and mine just happened to be NFL football.
Okay, all right. So now we're gonna jump to my favorite team. I didn't say that part yet, but I am a Giants fan, as you can tell behind me here. I didn't start really watching and paying attention and getting invested until a little bit after,
Right.
But for 1986, not having won, for the Giants not to have won a championship. Actually, I want to rewind for a second, because you said something that was interesting. Growing up, 7, 8, 9 years old, you were a Cowboys fan.
I was a Cowboy fan.
So was there any conflict of interest when the Giants drafted you, or by that point, did you already have changed it up from the Cowboys?
Definitely not, man. As I became older, who did I like? Man, football's football.
Right.
But when you get drafted by that team who you with, everything else go out the window, man. I was just happy to get drafted, man, because I wasn't even thinking like that. And then plus, at that time, once again, of all people, Joe lived in Connecticut, and I'm getting drafted by the Giants. Oh man, couldn't even believe it. Oh man,
Right,
dreams do come true.
No doubt, with some hard work and some perseverance. Before we get fully into the NFL side of things, we have a short clip that I want to show you from their Clemson days.
Right.
Today's Dark Territory Clemson letterman of the day is Andrew Roosevelt Hedden, also known as Andy Hedden. Andy was born in Asheboro, North Carolina, before coming to Clemson as a linebacker in 1979. Hedden was a key cog on the 1981 National Championship team, playing in the bandit position on Danny Ford's defense. Hedden was drafted by the New York Giants in 1983. A small herniation of the spinal disc ended Andy's 6-year career with the Giants. During his time with New York, Hedden backed up Lawrence Taylor at right outside linebacker. He played mostly in the nickel defense with a career total of 19 sacks and 6 interceptions.
As a point of reference, because that's a place I wanted to get to later, the 6 interceptions came in 4 seasons. in the span of 4 seasons.
Right.
That's impressive.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
Everybody always say, man, you at another team, you would have been started, whatever. But and absolutely, man. But at that time, we didn't have free agency, so I had to stay where I was at, man. I had no choice. But while I was there, I just figured I just make the best out of it and play as hard as I can. Then hopefully, somewhere along the way, I have opportunity to play somewhere else. But then this one, I got injury, and that I think we was actually playing Dallas, or maybe I think over the years of being, when we played, we was a physical team, so just doing a lot of hit and contact. Then I had that disc problems, and somewhere along the way, my career ended.
Okay. When that moment happened, if you don't mind, when you had that disc problem, talk to us a little bit about your feelings at the time, because right away you didn't know, or did you know that everything was going to change after that point?
I had no
way
idea.
to know.
Put you in the hospital or come out of the hospital, injury reserve. Back then, I think it was like 6 weeks or whatever it was, and then trying to go out there and practice again. But once again, technology where it is today wasn't where it wasn't nothing like that back in the day. So guys like that could have had some form of surgery, and maybe they could add more years to their career. But at that time, with an injury like that, the Giants didn't want to take a chance being responsible for whatever. And here I am, man, did it bother me? Oh, absolutely, because at that moment, sports is all I really knew. And not having it, man, it became a, kind of an issue. You can get kind of depressed with it, withdrawn. But what kept me going is keep God in your life and the love that I had from my family and my hometown. And it just kept telling me bigger and better things would come beyond that. So I just kept that next to me, and everything turned out all right, man.
Amen. Were you able to stay involved with the Giants or with the NFL in some form or fashion?
Well, no, because one thing I want to do, man, I didn't want to be around that particular time, because the guys I played with, man, it's kind of hard to be somewhere when you're not a part of something like that, man. So your best bet is probably just get up and move away from it for a minute. So From there, I did a little coaching with the kids. I do motivation speaking now, or I just show up at practices. But I still got my hand in a little bit of something, but not as much as I was doing right before the injury in my career.
Okay. How often are you able now to make it back out to any Giants games, if at all?
Okay, we can come up whenever. We just got to do a process. Actually, the first Giants Cowboy game, Monday night game, we have a reunion coming up, so I'll probably be up there for that to give me a chance to see the fellas again.
Okay. And I just want to touch quickly on the current Giants.
Right.
How you're feeling about the new regime with Joe Shane and Brian Daboll. Do you think that they'll be able to turn things around with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, or how you feeling about the Giants today?
Man, that's a big question, man.
Okay,
Man, we ain't been doing well lately, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pulling for them, man. Hopefully they can turn it around, man. They got the coach. I think he came from Buffalo.
Yes, sir.
If I'm
yes,
right.
Sir. After turning that one around.
Yeah.
Yes,
so there's a plus signs everywhere around there. So hopefully he can do what he did at Buffalo and bring it to the Giants.
Do you see in Daniel Jones the potential?
He got it, man. Like any other team, man, you need offensive line, and I think they went out and got a couple of draft picks to help him out.
Yep.
And hopefully they can gel in a short period of time, and maybe just like we did, man. I think when we first came to the league, the Giants wasn't that good, but year in, year out, Parcells was putting us through the process to become, Super Bowl winners. So hopefully that's what he does with them.
All right.
With this new squad he got coming.
Right. And I don't know if I'm a hopeless optimistic, but every Giants season I go into it thinking we got a Super Bowl at the end of it. So I'm right there again. So.
Well, I tell you what, you're not like the Dallas fan. They wear that same T-shirt. Wait till next year. I swear, man, I'm tired of hearing about them, man. But hopefully the Giants can put their foot up the butt and maybe it just will be our year, hopefully.
Any type of improvement would be a plus.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's talk a little bit about, we touched on it, you doing some motivational speaking, your post-playing career.
Right.
Are you doing speakings for young athletes, or are you doing events for, is it just any type of event?
Oh, well, it can be any type of event. You know, everybody want to know how, just like you doing me today, interviewing me some form, finding out what it takes to get from small kid to that type of level of professional sport. But once again, man, the main thing is, man, as you go through that, man, you gotta have your parents got to have your back, or someone got to have your back. Mine was my mom, my brothers and sisters, and then obviously the whole town I grew up with, and then then that one person that came in my life that really made a difference was my high school coach. You know, Coach Giro. He took time out with me. He took me places that I have never been in my life. You gotta remember, man, we kids in a population of, I'm gonna just guess at it, maybe less than 10,000 or 15,000 people in the whole town. But he took me places I have never seen. He gave me opportunity to dream, and those dreams became reality. So, you know, you gotta have some type of someone in your life is gonna take you somewhere mentally and physically that you've never been before.
Okay. To step back to the football side of things, between your playing days and now, obviously there's a big financial difference.
Right.
There's also safety improvements.
Right.
Aside from, I guess, the obvious ones, what do you think is the biggest difference now? Or is it the safety side of things that improving, or what do you think the biggest change is?
To be honest, it's a little bit of everything now, man. You know, the financial is definitely way better.
Off the charts, right.
Man, I mean, hey, man, I'm happy for the player. Do I wish I was playing today? Oh, yes, man. All that money, man. What?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but
yes, sir. I'll be on the practice squad.
Exactly. So, and plus, there are more players than what it was. I'm glad you brought it up. There are more players. It was when we was playing. I think we had 53 on the squad, but today they have a practice squad, which take a relief off other guys, the contact sport or whatever, because the practice squad back in my day was the second team, so I was on the second team, and so we had to be the other team for the guys who was going to play the upcoming game. And man, and like I said, but we still had to learn what we had to learn in case someone actually get hurt, and then we had a step, which I did at each position. You could have been outside, middle linebacker, or whatever. At that time, our defense coordinator was Bill Belichick, man. You know, which is one of the greatest coaches of all time. Mm-hmm. You know, he had a game plan for whoever we was playing. So, like I said, you had to just be ready to play whatever he wants you to play at that time.
Okay. Actually leads me into my next question. There's some big personalities that came out of that 80s Giants teams.
Right.
So being around Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, and your other linebacking core, and Phil Simms, what were some of those personalities like that we may not have gotten to see? I know, you know, some of them are very public, obviously. We don't have to mention it, but what were some of the other personalities like Phil Simms or Bill Parcells behind the scenes?
To get where you want to go, you have to have that ego.
Okay.
You know, you got to think that you're the best of what you do. And trust me, man, we had a whole team full of that.
Right.
But what made it work was, once again, I got to give Parcells the credit to put it in a jar and let the cap off every so often so we can explode with it, right? So that's how we play each week, especially that year. And really, every year that we was there, we didn't win as many games my first couple of years, but that 86 team, it just gelled. Right. So, you know, sometimes you just got to let the egos go where they want to go to get where you want to get to.
Okay. That's well said. And after that Super Bowl win, do you feel that your life took a different trajectory because of that win? It opened some doors for you. How do you think it would have been different had you guys not won that Super Bowl championship?
Well, you know, it takes hard work to get there, and I'm pretty sure that if we didn't win it, that we had, we just knew how to get there, what it takes to get there. Right. So I'm pretty sure if we didn't win that one, somewhere along the way, we would have won. But remember, a few years later, I think the 1990,
yes,
yeah,
sir. Yes, sir.
They won. So that team, I wasn't on that team because of the injury. But once again, man, they just knew what it takes to get there, and they went there again.
And came back around. That's true. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We actually have a clip from the New York Giants days. 80-yard interception return.
Oh,
we want to show you.
Oh, yeah.
Take a look at that. Yeah. Yes, sir. Oh, fumble return. Yeah. Yes, sir. Like a train coming down the mountain. Got that picture hanging up somewhere?
Oh, it's, yeah, man. Yeah, it's everywhere, man.
Great stuff going on.
Oh, man. Hey, man, just watching that, man, it made me miss the guys, man. I mean, we had love for each other deep, man. It just made me think about the days that we spend, oh, man, day in, day out with each other, on and off the field. You know, some great days, man. I just hope they all well, and hope I get a chance to see them. Like I said, this when we play Dallas the first Monday night game.
No doubt. And the camaraderie showed definitely, like you said, that when you have that type of camaraderie and teamwork, that's what results in the championships.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
no doubt. One thing I learned today from a friend of the show and your friend, Vanita, I didn't know this. Lawrence Taylor being known as one of the fastest linebackers to play the game. He was faster than Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, man. We sometimes be out there trying to outdo each other, man. But man, he was my idol, man. I had to say that for real, man. My passion for the game came from him. You see what he did in practice, but not off the field, but in practice though. But so I try to imitate LT and do my own thing at the same time, man. And like I said, I had for the years I played, I think I had a pretty good career, man. But like I said, man, T probably one of my best friends on the team, man. We had great times. We had one of the best linebacker team as linebackers during them years. The whole year I was there, man, like I said, we all could have went somewhere, the guys that wasn't starting, but free agency kept us there for the years that we had to play there.
No doubt. All right. I think we're coming to a close here. Mr. Hedden, we'd like to thank you again for coming out on the sound effect, and we'd like to wish you the best in any endeavors you have going forward, and hopefully we can see you back here soon.
Okay, man, I appreciate your time. Call me anytime. I love to come here and talk football with you anytime, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you again.
All right, now. Thank you for tuning in to the sound effect. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next time.